Who is a conventionally unattractive person that you find very attractive? There's a girl at one of my jobs. She's got nothing going for her in the looks department. But she's so damn funny and fun to talk to that she low-key has my heart throbbing. I could easily spend my entire shift talking to her. I normally suck at small talk and wouldn't get bored. I feel like Willem Dafoe deserves a mention here. He's got one of those faces that's incredibly distinctive. Not your conventional Hollywood leading man look, but the guy's got a magnetic screen presence and an intensity that just works. Plus, his roles in films like The Lighthouse really showcase how he can transform that unique appearance into something spellbinding. He's like a fine wine, just gets more intriguing with age. I made it all the way to the bottom looking for this name, but apparently I am all alone. Bob Hoskins, you were my first ever celebrity crush. For those that don't know the name, he played Eddie Valiant, main non-toon character, in Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Bark, bark, bark. Matt Berry. While he's more on the average side than conventionally unattractive, there's just something about him. Every time I see him, I can't help but think, absolutely would. His charm and unique style make him incredibly appealing, even if he doesn't fit the typical mold of attractiveness. Greg Davies, the Taskmaster. I've seen clips of him from when he was younger and clean-shaven, and honestly, I didn't find him attractive at all back then. But as he's aged, he's turned into one hell of a silver fox. His personality plays a big role in that transformation too. There's just something about his sassy swagger and confident presence that really amps up his appeal. He's grown into his looks in a way that makes him stand out, and that mix of humor and charm is what makes him genuinely hot now. Matt Smith. He has this unique, almost otherworldly look, and honestly, he kind of looks like the Antichrist. But that's exactly what I find so attractive about him. His unconventional appearance gives him an edge that's really appealing, making him stand out in a crowd. Bill Hader. While he might not be conventionally unattractive, he's tall with a pretty rockin' jawline, he's definitely not your typical pretty boy either. What really draws me to him is his humor. His impeccable impressions, fully embodied characters, and absurdist comedy are just brilliant. Beyond that, he's a thoughtful and introspective person who genuinely loves stupid, silly things, which is incredibly endearing. Plus, the episodes of Barry that he directed are simply incredible. They're not just funny, but also unique in their visual storytelling and creative choices. He's got a mix of talent, depth, and quirkiness that makes him incredibly attractive. Edit, Welp. This was my first comment to reach 1K, and I got an award. The people have spoken. Bill Hader is fucking sexy, and you can take that to the bank. Thank you. I realize I have a hard time knowing what conventionally attractive looks like. I just think most women are really pretty. I am a straight man, but I long for the embrace of John Goodman. Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi. He might not fit the traditional standards of attractiveness, but there's something undeniably captivating about him. His unique look, combined with his incredible acting talent and offbeat charm, makes him stand out. I'm ready to defend my admiration for him any day. Alan Rickman. I fell for him when I was in middle school after watching Sense and Sensibility. That evening is still vivid in my memory. I was at my best friend's house, and one of her family friends took us out to get snacks. We picked up some dragon fruit, which felt so exotic at the time. We had the best movie night, and Rickman's performance just captivated me. His deep voice, the way he carried himself, and that subtle yet powerful presence left a lasting impression. To this day, he holds a special place in my list of celebrity crushes. His charm was truly unique, and I'll always remember him fondly. May he rest in peace. Current age, Toni Collette. Sure, she was attractive in The Sixth Sense, but now, I think she's incredibly hot, especially in Knives Out. There's something about the way she's aged that's just stunning. She carries herself with such confidence and has this powerful presence that makes her even more appealing now than when she was younger. Her talent as an actress only adds to her allure, making her one of those rare people who become more attractive with time. In Knives Out, she absolutely stole the show for me with her charisma and those intense, expressive eyes. Bill Hader. As a guy, I have to say Jack Black. He's never been conventionally attractive, even when he was younger, but damn if that man doesn't ooze confidence. There's something incredibly appealing about the way he carries himself, with that infectious energy and self-assuredness. His sense of humor and charisma just make him stand out, proving that confidence really is key when it comes to attraction. I find Mads Mikkelsen rather attractive, but my wife strongly disagrees, so I'm putting him on this list. There's something about his sharp features and that intense gaze that really draws me in. He's got this brooding, mysterious vibe that makes him stand out from more conventionally attractive actors. Whether he's playing a villain or a more nuanced character, he brings a certain depth and magnetism to the screen that I can't help but admire. My wife might not see it, but for me, Mads has a unique appeal that goes beyond just looks. It's in the way he carries himself, the subtlety in his performances, and that undeniable presence. Edit, we are lesbians. XD, please don't hate on her. Neither of us find very many men attractive, but I do think Mads is attractive, especially for his age. Kate Micucci from Garfunkel and Oates. She's not unattractive by any means, but I think most people wouldn't see her as a conventional beauty queen. For me, though, she's absolutely adorable and incredibly sexy. There's something about her quirky charm and unique look that makes her stand out. Her sense of humor, combined with that sweet, almost childlike demeanor, adds to her appeal in a way that's hard to define, but impossible to ignore. She might not fit the traditional mold of Hollywood beauty, but her personality and presence make her someone I find irresistibly attractive. Vincent D'Onofrio. He's definitely not unattractive, but he doesn't fit the typical Hollywood mold. There's something about his rugged, unconventional charm that has had me crushing on him for years. His strong presence and versatility as an actor make him stand out, and I find him incredibly appealing in a way that's different from the usual Hollywood stars. Harvey Keitel. Years ago, I watched The Piano. At the beginning of the movie, I thought was sort of dumpy. Later in the movie, I was wildly turned on by him. Not unattractive, but by Hollywood standards, very mom-next-door type, but to me, Judy Greer is super sexy. Peter fucking Dinklage. I would let him do ridiculous things to me. You ever notice how Adrian Brody has a certain je ne sais quoi about him? The guy's got a nose that could carve through a Shakespearean tragedy, yet he exudes a suave allure that's hard to ignore. There's something about his brooding artist vibe that completely defies the typical cookie-cutter pretty boy trope. His looks may be unconventional, but that's what makes him so captivating. And then there's his performance in The Pianist. The sheer emotional depth he brought to that role was nothing short of remarkable. Adrian Brody's appeal is a perfect example of how charisma and talent can cast a much longer shadow than mere aesthetic perfection. I don't think Janeane Garofalo is unattractive by conventional standards, but in my opinion, she punches way above her weight class in terms of hotness. There's something about her wit, attitude, and unique style that makes her incredibly attractive, far beyond just her looks. She's got a charm that's hard to beat. Tilda Swinton. Her androgynous and utterly unique appearance places her squarely in my uncanny valley. Yet somehow, she also manages to strike that hot spot perfectly. There's something mesmerizing about her otherworldly looks that just draws me in. Then there's Danny Trejo. His face is rough, weathered by time and experience, but there's an undeniable, almost primal sexiness about him. I never imagined someone with such a rugged appearance could be so captivating, but he pulls it off effortlessly. And I can't forget to mention my honourable mentions: Geoffrey Rush, Steve Buscemi, and Christopher Walken. Each of them, with their unconventional looks and magnetic personalities, has a unique appeal that defies traditional standards of attractiveness. Bob Odenkirk. He's funny and talented as fuck, that's all I need. In the same vein, Nathan Fielder and Norm Macdonald could rock my world. Jenny Slate. She's not conventionally unattractive, but she doesn't usually land the leading lady hot roles. However, I think she's absolutely adorable. There's something about her quirky charm and unique voice that makes her incredibly endearing and attractive in her own way. Adam Driver, I love that face. I had a huge crush on Gene Wilder. There was something about him that was just irresistible. He wasn't your typical Hollywood heartthrob, but his sense of humor and kind nature made him incredibly attractive. His ability to make people laugh, combined with that gentle, almost whimsical demeanor, was such a winning combination for me. Every time I watched him on screen, I couldn't help but be drawn to his unique charm. He had this way of making you feel like he genuinely cared, and that's what made him stand out in a sea of more conventionally attractive actors. Amy Sedaris. She's known for playing unattractive, quirky characters, often embracing the role of weirdos and oddballs. Despite that, I find her incredibly charming and unique. Her ability to fully embody those eccentric roles makes her all the more appealing, with a sense of humor that's just irresistible. But when she's off-screen, or just looking like herself, she's really adorable and conventionally attractive. I haven't seen her yet, but wasn't Sigourney Weaver told multiple times that she wasn't pretty enough? It's wild to think anyone could say that because she's absolutely smoking hot in everything I've seen her in, especially Galaxy Quest. There's just something about her strong, commanding presence that makes her incredibly attractive. At 74, she's still got that fierce energy, and honestly, I'm betting she could still beat the shit out of me, and I'm super into that. There's a confidence and strength she carries that goes beyond conventional beauty, making her one of the most captivating women in Hollywood. Willem Dafoe. He's definitely not your conventional Hollywood heartthrob, but I've been crushing on him for years. There's something about his intense gaze and unique features that make him incredibly compelling. His charisma and the way he fully embodies every role he takes on only add to his allure. I'm a straight dude, but Walton Goggins fits the bill for me. Noel Fielding would be my first choice, hands down. He's even joked, "I've got a face like a pointy witch." But that's part of what makes him so intriguing. His quirky charm, unique style, and offbeat humor make him incredibly attractive in a way that's hard to resist. The mum from Malcolm in the Middle. I had a huge crush on John Lithgow, and I think it all started with terms of endearment. There's something about his warm, genuine presence that really drew me in. He's not conventionally handsome, but his talent and charm make him incredibly appealing. Andy Samberg has always had this reputation of being a somewhat meh-looking goofball, but honestly, I've always loved the way he looks. There's something incredibly endearing about his goofy charm and infectious energy. He's got this boy-next-door appeal that's hard to resist, and his sense of humor just amplifies his attractiveness. Even though he's not the typical Hollywood pretty boy, his unique combination of looks and personality makes him stand out in the best possible way. I think his charm is what really seals the deal. Really. Apparently, a lot of people think Lady Gaga is unattractive, but I've always found her gorgeous. She's definitely an oddball, with her unique style and daring fashion choices, but that's part of what makes her so captivating. Her confidence and individuality shine through in everything she does, and that makes her incredibly attractive to me. Gaga has this rare combination of talent, creativity, and boldness that sets her apart from the typical standards of beauty. Even if she doesn't fit everyone's idea of conventional attractiveness, there's no denying her magnetic presence and how she owns her look. Secondary, Kathy Bates is getting better with age. She was a bit rough in Misery, but she looks damn good. especially for her age, in American Horror Stories. I think Rachel Dratch is so fucking hot. Nick Offerman. He's not conventionally a 10, but there's so much more to him than looks. The fact that he's in touch with his emotions and is an actual carpenter makes him incredibly attractive. The idea that he can be empathetic to my feelings and also build me a house, that's a total panty dropper. There's something undeniably sexy about a man who's both ruggedly skilled and emotionally aware. It's that combination of hands-on capability and deep sensitivity that makes him stand out, and it's why he's such a unique and appealing figure. Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has a kind of naivete that's incredibly endearing. He's not traditionally handsome, but his innocent and quirky nature makes him really charming. There's something about his childlike optimism and offbeat personality that just draws you in, making him surprisingly attractive in his own unique way. I've never understood why more people don't find Tina Fey attractive. To me, she's one of the most beautiful women in entertainment. Her intelligence and wit are part of what make her so appealing, but she also has a natural beauty that often gets overlooked. There's something incredibly captivating about her. Whether it's her sharp sense of humor, her confidence, or just the way she carries herself. She doesn't fit the typical Hollywood mold, but that's exactly what makes her stand out. I've always thought she's stunning, both inside and out. Everyone I know thinks he's unattractive, but people on Reddit seem to disagree. Cillian Murphy, though, he is a beautiful man. There's something mesmerizing about his sharp features and those intense blue eyes. He has this mysterious, almost ethereal quality that sets him apart, making him incredibly captivating. Has anybody said Norman Reedus yet? OMG Ed Harris can't explain, but he has it. I've kind of always had a thing for Tommy Lee Jones. He's definitely getting older now, approaching 80, but back in the 90s, especially in The Fugitive, I had a huge crush on him, even when I was just 14. There was something about his rugged, no-nonsense demeanor and those deep, expressive eyes that really drew me in. He wasn't the typical Hollywood heartthrob, but that made him all the more appealing to me. His strong presence and the way he carried himself just oozed confidence, and I found that incredibly attractive. ITT, conventionally attractive people and conventionally attractive people who have simply aged. It's interesting how some people's appeal evolves with time, but they've always had that undeniable charm, whether in their youth or as they've grown older. Age doesn't take away from their attractiveness, it just adds a different layer to it. Jeff Goldblum, Adrian Brody. I like a strong nose on a man. Joaquin Phoenix is one of those actors who doesn't fit neatly into the category of conventionally attractive. But to me, he's absolutely stunning. He's got conventionally beautiful features, sure, but there's something deeper that sets him apart. A lot of my friends say they don't see it, but I can't help but be captivated by his unique beauty. It's not just about his looks. It's the intensity he brings to his roles, his mysterious aura, and that unmistakable presence. There's a raw, almost untamed quality to him that makes him stand out, and I find that incredibly attractive. I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch isn't usually considered conventionally attractive, but I personally think he's fine as hell. There's something about his sharp features and that deep, resonant voice that's incredibly alluring. His unique look, combined with his talent and charisma, makes him stand out in the best way. Natasya Dimitriou isn't conventionally unattractive, but she's not your typical Hollywood hot either. For me, that's what makes her even more appealing. She's hilariously charismatic, with a sharp wit that just draws you in. Her gorgeous eyes and hair are hard to miss, but it's her unique personality and comedic timing that really make her stand out. She has this magnetic presence that's not based on conventional beauty standards, but rather on the way she carries herself and the energy she brings to every role. It's that combination of charm, humor, and natural beauty that makes her truly captivating. Woody Harrelson and William Dafoe come to mind. Jean Reno, Christopher Maloney. Natasha Lyonne has this wild, untamed look with her crazy, unhoused hair and those hunched, secret-hiding shoulders that just add to her charm. Her distinct smoker's drawl and accent are the icing on the cake. She's not your typical Hollywood beauty, but there's something incredibly captivating about her. That combination of raw energy and uniqueness makes her stand out in a way that's hard to resist. She's got a vibe that's all her own, and that's what makes her so attractive. She doesn't conform to the usual standards, and she owns every bit of who she is. Not sure if it counts, but I've had the biggest crush on Kate Micucci for ages. There's something about her quirky charm and sweet demeanor that just gets me every time. I still get those giggly butterfly feelings whenever I listen to her album. She's got this adorable, down-to-earth vibe that's incredibly endearing. Most answers on here be like, Margot Robbie is such an uggo, but I would... For years, I had a massive crush on David Bowie as the Goblin King, those pants. I didn't really find him attractive in other stuff, only as the Goblin King, the hair, the eyeshadow, the swag, and again, those pants. Jason Alexander. I'm a straight male, but I've got to admit, Jason Alexander is low-key handsome. There's something about his charm and humor that's surprisingly attractive. If he ever made a pass, I might just have to question my sexuality. He's got that kind of unexpected appeal. I used to have a thing for Seth Rogen. That smile, his personality, and that ridiculous stoner laugh. There's just something so endearing about him. I'm drawn to fun, easygoing people, and Seth's sense of humor and laid-back vibe make him really attractive in a unique way. Alfred Molina. I don't think he's unattractive by any means, but compared to Hollywood's Chris Hemsworth standards, I guess he's unconventional. I was around 12 or 13 when I first saw him in Spider-Man 2 as Doc Ock, and he became my first crush. There was something about his charisma, the way he carried himself, that just drew me in. Seeing him run around shirtless in a trench coat, smoking cigars, completely rewired my brain. That mix of intellect and raw power was incredibly appealing, and it left a lasting impression on me. When I saw him return in No Way Home, all those childhood crush feelings came rushing back. There's just something about him that's so endearing and captivating, and I still think he's very cute. His presence, both on and off screen, has a certain charm that's hard to find, and it's stuck with me all these years. Edit. I am absolutely thrilled to discover we all have a crush on Doc Ock. Thanks for watching. It's been fun diving into some unconventional crushes, proving that beauty really is in the eye of the beholder. If you've got a celebrity crush that's a little outside the norm, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. See you next time.